Welcome into the OUA football previews. We've got the Guelph Gryphons on deck. Miles La Foucade, DB, joining us here today. So thank you so much, Miles. Whole lot to get into with you guys as your defense flies around every year. So we're excited to kind of get to hear a bit more about how that's going to look this year. But I want to start it off with how camp is going for you.
Yeah, for sure. So, just based off of some of our new guys that we got coming in and like our older veteran leaders, I would say as a team, we've kind of been flying around. The energy's very high. It's very competitive. I would say that a lot of the young guys are hungry and they want a spot on the defense, and I would say even on our offense too. Like it's very competitive between the receivers and the DBs. And when we have our team periods, everyone's flying around. So the energy is very high, which is always good. You want to see that in camp, and you want to see that everybody's hungry and ready to go. So far, yeah, I would say everyone's really, really excited and pumped.
And a big question going into this season for you guys is obviously the quarterback position. The last couple of years, there have been a lot of ins and outs and new players. How is that position kind of looking for you guys?
So yeah, we have a couple new quarterbacks that we brought in. I would say from what we've had before, I would say these guys are very different. I would say they are a little bit more locked in. They have a little bit different cues that they use, and they have different, bigger personalities that I've never seen before here. So it's really good to see that we have a little bit of a change, especially with the position, and it's a positive change. I would say, like as a defense, we always want to keep things competitive between our offense to give them better looks before we get into the season. So we've been kind of game planning and doing different things to give our quarterbacks different looks, and they've been responding very well, I would say, to our defenses and just adjustments and whatnot. So that's always a very good sign you want to see with two new quarterbacks coming in and a couple other guys behind them. And just with our coaching and stuff, they're also giving them very good cues and stuff to adjust to that. So with our quarterback position, I'm confident to say that we have the right guys to do a good job for us this year.
I want to bring things back to the defensive side of the ball for a second if I can. Linebacker in your group, Brandon Farrago led the OUA last year with in tackles per game was I think it was like almost 7.5 tackles per game. Just talk about his play style and how that kind of impacts your defense.
Yeah, for sure. Frigo is one of our biggest defensive leaders this year. He's stepping up again, doing a big role for us in the linebacker position. He's a big leader for us, and he helps us get in the right spots. He's going to be a big key for us this year again, and he's definitely helped us a lot with adjusting and doing different things with our defenses. He helps the young guys adjust to the defenses as well, and all our different play calls and whatnot. So he's a big key factor in allowing our defense to grow, and especially for the young guys, allowing them to grow within the new spots that they'll be put in and the different situations we're putting in as well. So he's a very, very key leader on our defense for sure.
And can you talk about your scheme a bit? Because Guelph plays traditionally a really aggressive style of defense. And how does that allow you to really be free to go and make plays in the secondary?
Exactly. So usually with our play style, we like to focus on stopping the run, and when we can stop the run, our secondary has opportunities to make plays on the ball. So when we can control different outcomes and putting guys in the right spots to capitalize on big plays within the box, whether that be 1st and 10, getting a stop for negative yardage. That's our main goal right off the bat. So the second and long, and then our DBs can play a little bit more relaxed and know the right cues to make. Where wherever the receivers are lined up, that means our secondary could just fly around and be confident to get to the football. So that aggressive style that we like to play within the box allows our secondary to be more relaxed, and then we can jump and be more explosive towards the ball.
Definitely all about getting your hands on the ball and forcing some turnovers. When you guys as DBs kind of line up through practices over the last few years, Guelph has had really good playmakers. I mean, Janusis, Clark Barnes, Keandre Smith, just the last three big names, especially in your time. How has that kind of helped you guys and prepared you for what to come in the OUA season?
Exactly. So that kind of stems back to when I was talking about practice being really competitive. Having guys like Rashawn, and he's a big leader on our team this year too. So he allows our younger receivers to take notes from him, which allows our secondary to even get better when we do our one-on-ones, whether it's Skelly one-on-ones, whatever we do. Their explosive play style allows our secondary to be more. We're more adaptable in game because we've seen some of the best talent that's in the league right now. So when our DBs line up against like Clark Barnes or Rashawn, or even going further back to Kean, like, it allows just our secondary to be more fluent when we play teams with similar talent or not as talented teams. So those receivers, I would say, and just other guys on the team, it helps a lot, especially in practice when we can just see looks like that. It makes us more adaptable and stuff, and definitely ups our game for sure.
And as you guys have gone through the last few years, really physical at the point of attack in the run game. How's that looking for this season with the offensive line and the backs?
Exactly. So obviously last year we struggled. We had some adversity based on our record and stuff. So I would say just from the off season, like after our very first game, after the last game of the season, we've kind of dialed back and shifted our focus on what we made mistakes on, and being able to put guys in the right spots to capitalize on being aggressive in the run and stopping the run. So this year I would say is we're more focused and detailed on being focused on the task that's in front of us, whether that be whatever team we're playing that week, to kind of game plan on how we can be aggressive in that aspect, and then everything else will come to it. So like for the week, we plan our weeks out, and we're very detailed on how we're going to attack a certain team that week. So we want to be very detailed on how we basically finish off the week in terms of attacking whatever team we're going to be playing that week.
And for you guys as a whole, what's it going to take to get back to Guelph Gryphon football that we've known over the past few seasons?
Exactly. So like I said, that's just going to be taking it one day at a time, whether it's practice, whatever it's game planning. We just need to take things one step at a time and be, like I said, very detailed and win the day. That's our big thing this year, is just win the day. It doesn't matter who we're playing in week 3, week 4, week 5. We just want to win the day, and that'll allow us to be more aggressive towards coming to game days that we're more focused on with the plan and just executing that game plan that week.
And looking forward to the start of the season a little bit, but not too far. Week 1, you guys start at home with the Toronto Varsity Blues. Athletic quarterback in Kinsale Phillip. What's the defensive mindset there in preparing for a dual threat quarterback like he is?
Yeah, exactly. So we definitely want to keep containment on him for sure. We know he's an elusive quarterback, and we know he can run a little too. So not just protecting the pass and stopping the run, but also being able to contain the edge and being able to keep him in the pocket is going to be extremely important for us. And that's going to come back to us being our explosive defense is going to be able to do that. So we're going to have to game plan for that for sure. And that just comes down to keeping things one day at a time and making sure that our D-line and our linebackers are prepared for that scheme-wise and knowing what to do, and then our secondary can take care of the rest.
Perfect. And thank you so much for giving us all this time that you've had tonight. We really appreciate it. We're looking forward to seeing the Gryphons and all your different. Oh wait, hold on. Before we end, Miles, favorite uniform combo you guys have?
Oh,
I can't go without it.
So we've actually, so my favorite personally is probably the all blacks, just because all black is clean and I think it looks really tough. But I really like, for the away look, I like the black, white, black, which is like our away piece. That's
yeah.
one of my favorites for sure. But we also haven't done a few, so I don't think we've done like black, red, red, or we haven't done black, white, white yet. So I don't know if we'll do that this year. I don't know if we will see that at all, but black is definitely one of my favorite for sure. It's my favorite home jerseys for sure.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much. All the best with the rest of camp. All the best with the season. We're looking forward to seeing you and your team progress through this year. So once again, Miles, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.